Yeah. Oi!
Hi guys, I'm Sacha and Toby from STORROR, and today we're going to be learning 360 precision. So when you're learning the 360 precision, you want to get used to getting a bit disorientated at the beginning. So at first, we're going to learn to just do a 360 jump on the floor. So you want to be able to land with nice stability and be able to stay there. You want to stand on the edge of the wall. I'm going to demonstrate on the curb just because it's safer. You don't want to learn this up at height, you want to learn this at the floor level. When you're doing the spin on the ground, you want to first work out which way you prefer to spin. So my way is over my left shoulder. So I'm going to be teaching you that way for now. For a 360, you want to be at shoulder width apart, just so your knees don't get tangled when you try and do the spin. Oh my god, did you see that?
Did you see that?
I use my right arm to really swing around. As you take off, you're almost looking backwards already. So you've done half the rotation already. You spot your landing very early on. Tuck in and extend for your landing point. A good bit of advice from me is learn at low heights and try and have a little target for your landing. So right now I'm jumping off the curb and I'm having this line as my target. So imagine this is the wall. You want to land with good foot placement on this line. Directly on the line. Now we're going to do an example up at height.
Dun, 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 dun.
So feet shoulder width apart. So get ready to swing those arms. Take off, spot your landing and land. And that's the 360. Oh dear!
You're right guys, Toby Seeger here of STORROR Parkour. I'm sure you've seen some of our videos and know full well that I'm a fan of double Kong. So today, on this cold morning in England, I'm going to teach you the processes behind completing this movement, or how to get better at it and good ways to sort of build up. So this tutorial today is going to be more aimed at the intermediate to expert practitioners who just want to make their double Kong better. So obviously you want to start learning the basics and stuff like that in a gym or somewhere safe where you're not going to hurt yourself, but today I'm going to teach you how to push it to a place where you're comfortable with it and can take it outside to the harsh world of concrete. So obviously what we're doing here is a double Kong, so the obvious build up is a single Kong. So I'm just going to do a quick example and then break down how I did it. So the most important thing about this movement, in my eyes, is the run up. It's got to be strong, the steps have got to be consistent, and you've got to know how far you want to be away from the wall each time. When you go to take off for the double, your feet actually leave the ground just before your hands touch the wall. You don't want your hands to be on the wall when that front foot is on the ground, because that means you're too close and there's a risk of you hitting your knees or missing your hands like that. And if you miss your hands on a double Kong, you're at this angle and your head is going to be flying towards that concrete at a horrible angle and you're not going to have any fun at all. So take off and run up is the most important thing. Bearing in mind that the run up is the most important thing, the most important part of the run up is your last 3 steps. Depending on which leg you take off with, I'm sure you've worked this out already when you learnt the cat pass, have that takeoff leg as the 3rd step before your takeoff there. This step here is where you initiate the most power. This is where you get the most acceleration, the most speed, and start the commitment to double. Second most important part, hand positioning and trajectory. So the angle that you're going to send your body to get all the way over there. It's quite a scary move to commit to because obviously you're flying at that last wall head first, so we've got to know that we're going to get over the top of that wall and not just slam into it. Your hands will be here, your feet are going to have left the ground by now, and what you want to do is just send your hips and arse back up in the air and bring your knees in. Strong core, that fast tuck's going to be what gives you the lift to get you across the other side. You don't want to hit that first wall and stay straight. If you stay straight, you're not making use of your legs. Tuck in, and that's what's going to give you that extra punch. The way I like to build up to these kind of double Kongs first is by just practicing the Kong precision before we do that. So that's what I'm going to do now. For me, if I can Kong precision of something, then I can double Kong it. Another point to do with the run up, on those last 3 steps, you want to stride in And when you bring in those 2 steps there, you want to get really low and sometimes even get your eyes level with the wall. And then your arms are going to come through with the momentum and up. That's the main thing, is getting your chest nice and low so that you have loads of power coming up for when you're up in the air and in the middle of the movement. I'm Toby Seeger, and that was the double com.